Picture this. You're craving pizza. 2 large pizzas, to be exact. How much would you be willing to pay for them? 20 bucks? 30? Maybe 40 if you're feeling fancy. Well, what if I told you someone once paid over $500 million for 2 pizzas? No, that's not a typo. And no, the pizzas weren't made of gold or topped with unicorn tears. They were just regular, everyday pizzas from Papa John's. This is the wild, almost unbelievable story of the most expensive food order in human history and the man who made it happen. Let's rewind the clock to May 2010. The world was a different place. The first iPad had just been released, TikTok was a song by Kesha, and a strange new digital currency called Bitcoin was known only to a small group of computer geeks and cryptographers. One of these early enthusiasts was a programmer from Florida named Laszlo Hanyecz. Laszlo was a big believer in Bitcoin. He even contributed to its code, but he had a vision. He believed that for Bitcoin to be successful, it needed to be used for more than just trading between nerds online. It needed to be used for real-world transactions, for buying actual stuff. So on May 18, 2010, Laszlo logged onto a popular forum called Bitcoin Talk. He posted a simple yet historic request. He wrote, "I'll pay 10,000 Bitcoins for a couple of pizzas, like maybe 2 large ones, so I have some left over for the next day." He even specified his favorite toppings: onions, peppers, sausage, mushrooms, tomatoes, pepperoni, the works. He just wanted to be able to say he paid for pizza with Bitcoins. For a few days, his offer hung in the digital air. No one seemed to bite. Some users were skeptical. Others were probably just confused. Keep in mind, back then, 10,000 Bitcoins were worth about $41. It was a fair price for 2 pizzas, but the process was complicated. There was no Pay with Bitcoin button on any pizza website. Someone would have to buy the pizzas with their own money, have them delivered to Laszlo's house in Florida, and then trust that this stranger on the internet would send them the 10,000 Bitcoins. It was a leap of faith. Finally, after 4 long days, a hero emerged. A 19-year-old student in California named Jeremy Sturdivant, known online as Jerkos, saw Laszlo's post. He thought, why not? He called up a Papa John's in Jacksonville, Florida, placed the order with his credit card, and had the 2 large pizzas delivered to Laszlo's address. A short while later, Laszlo triumphantly posted an update on the forum. He confirmed the transaction was a success. He even included pictures of the pizzas and his young daughter reaching for a slice. He wrote, "I just want to report that I successfully traded 10,000 Bitcoins for pizza." History was made. It was the very first documented time that Bitcoin was used to buy a physical good. The community celebrated. This was a huge milestone. Bitcoin wasn't just a digital collectible anymore, it was a real currency. Laszlo was hailed as a pioneer. But here's where the story takes a turn from interesting to absolutely mind-blowing. At the time, nobody batted an eye at the price. 10,000 Bitcoins for 2 pizzas seemed fair. But Bitcoin's value didn't stay at a fraction of a cent for long. It started to climb, slowly at first, then faster. Within a year, those 10,000 Bitcoins were worth thousands of dollars. A few years later, they were worth millions. And at Bitcoin's peak price in 2021, those 2 pizzas were effectively worth over $690 million. Let that sink in. $690 million. That's enough to buy your own professional sports team, a fleet of private jets, or a small island. It is, without a doubt, the most expensive pizza purchase of all time. Naturally, the internet loves a good what-if story. Every year on May 22nd, now celebrated globally as Bitcoin Pizza Day, the story gets retold. People calculate the current value of those 10,000 Bitcoins and collectively gasp. The headlines are always sensational. The man who threw away a fortune for pizza. Laszlo Hanyecz has become a legend, but also a sort of cautionary tale. People imagine him sitting in a dark room, filled with regret, haunted by the ghosts of pizza's past. But here's the most surprising part of the story. Laszlo doesn't regret it, not one bit. In interviews over the years, he's been remarkably cool about the whole thing. He says he's just happy to have played a part in the Bitcoin story. His goal was to kickstart the Bitcoin economy, to prove it had real-world utility. And he did. He sees it as contributing to an open-source project, not as losing a fortune. He said, "I think that it's great that I got to be part of the early history of Bitcoin in that way. He understood that for Bitcoin to have any value at all, people had to spend it on something real. Someone had to be first, and he was happy to be that person. Think about it. If no one had ever spent Bitcoin on something real, it might have remained a niche hobby for a handful of programmers and faded into obscurity. Laszlo's pizza purchase was the spark that helped light the fire. And it wasn't a one-time thing. After that first successful transaction, Laszlo kept the offer open. Over the summer of 2010, he spent around 100,000 Bitcoins in total, mostly on more pizza for himself and others in the community. At today's prices, that's a multi-billion-dollar pizza habit. Now, what about the other guy in this story? Jeremy Sturdivant, the student who bought the pizzas for Laszlo. He received the 10,000 Bitcoins, which were worth about $40 at the time. Did he hold on to them and become a billionaire? Nope, he spent them pretty quickly, mostly on travel and video games. Like Laszlo, he says he has no regrets. He was part of a historic moment, and that's cool enough for him. It just goes to show how no one, not even the earliest adopters, could have predicted the astronomical rise of Bitcoin. The story of Bitcoin Pizza Day is more than just a funny anecdote about an expensive meal. It's a perfect snapshot of the early days of cryptocurrency. It represents a philosophical shift, the moment a purely digital concept broke through into the physical world. It's a story about innovation, community, and the courage to take a small leap of faith that ends up having massive, unforeseen consequences. Laszlo wasn't trying to get rich, he was trying to prove a point. He wanted to help build something new, and in the process, he accidentally created one of the most legendary stories in modern finance. It's a reminder that at the beginning of any great technological revolution, the pioneers are often just tinkering, experimenting, and in this case, trying to get a decent dinner. Today, you can buy almost anything with Bitcoin, from cars to houses to, yes, pizza. Many pizza places and delivery services now accept crypto payments, all thanks to that initial transaction. Every May 22nd, crypto enthusiasts around the world celebrate by eating pizza and raising a slice to Laszlo Hanyecz. Some major pizza chains even offer special discounts for customers paying with crypto on that day. It's a fun tradition that honors the humble beginnings of what has become a multi-trillion-dollar industry. So, the next time you order a pizza, take a moment to think about Laszlo. Think about the incredible journey from a simple forum post to a global phenomenon. It's a wild story that proves that sometimes the most groundbreaking actions don't feel like a big deal at the time. Sometimes they just feel like ordering a couple of large pizzas with extra pepperoni. And while we might all dream of having 10,000 Bitcoins, maybe the real lesson here is about the value of being a pioneer, of contributing to something you believe in. And of course, the enduring universal joy of a hot, cheesy pizza. What do you think? Would you have done it? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more incredible stories. Thanks for watching. Till next time.